And welcome to Rob Schmitt tonight. And what a weird week in Washington it has been. It all started with Nancy Pelosi accepting the skinny COVID relief bill that she lambasted when it was first offered over the summer. As the week continued, things only got more bizarre. The president announcing last night he wants to more than triple the COVID relief bill and spend trillions of dollars. Take a listen.
I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation.
Well, Republicans who fought for months to keep this bill small are now in a very awkward position. But some big names appear to be falling in line with the president. Lindsey Graham tweeting out, "I support President Trump's demand to increase direct payments for long-suffering Americans to $2,000 per person." All right, so now you have Trump, Lindsey Graham, and Nancy Pelosi all on the same page on spending. Check this out from Pelosi. Tweeting out today, "Mr. President, sign the bill to keep government open. Urge McConnell to agree with the Democratic unanimous consent request for $2,000 direct payments. This can be done by noon Christmas Eve." Of course, Pelosi is giddy at the thought of the $900 billion COVID relief bill expanding and growing into the trillions of dollars. And my, how things change. Earlier this week, talking about Trump, Politico reports Pelosi told her leadership team, "I'm counting down the hours until he's gone. I plan to pull him out of there by his hands, or his hair, his little hands, and his feet." Now, these two sworn enemies are on the same team, along with others even further left, like AOC and the Squad, who are excited by Trump's plan. But on the right, the fiscal hawks are a bit scared of this sudden shift to a spend-crazy COVID relief plan. Take a listen.
I told people in my speech that it's not that the difference in parties is Adam Smith versus Marx. It's really Marx versus Engels. And I don't think they're happy to hear that, but they're always talking about socialism, and so am I. But that bill yesterday was a bunch of socialist spending. And if you voted for it, you're no better than the Democrats. And so that's the problem we have. People need to get involved in primaries and elect better people. But the people in Washington are bankrupting us, both parties.
All right, so where to begin on this? How about a little music to set the tone? It is kind of like the Twilight Zone. What a weird moment. Trump and all the Democrats and some Republicans on one side and most of the conservatives on the other. Well, first off, we don't have the money for a multi-trillion-dollar COVID relief package or even the smaller one that's already been passed by Congress. We harped on this last night. We're $27 trillion in debt at this point. There's a number right there. However, we should have money for a crisis like this. That's true. Our country is a cash cow, our private sector a revenue machine. Only because our government is so hapless are we somehow totally broke and riddled with debt at a time when we really could use a savings account. That debt is thanks to two American ideals that true fiscal conservatives cannot stand, and those are liberalism and globalism. We blow entirely too much of our money on defense and entitlements. If we didn't decide to become the police of the world, we wouldn't spend nearly as much on defense, and we wouldn't hand out hundreds of billions of your dollars to other countries the way we are trying to with this latest year-end spending bill, funding all the nonsense we've been talking about in Pakistan, Central America, Sri Lanka, Egypt. The list goes on and on. It's embarrassing and it's ridiculous. The president has done his part to fix that problem by pulling troops out of foreign countries, not starting any new wars, America first, also demanding Congress pull all the ridiculous foreign aid out of the year-end spending bill. Thank you very much for that, Mr. President. Entitlements in this country, though, are way trickier, and it's a scary subject. Medicare and Social Security are America's two biggest forms of socialism. And now we are trapped because for years, working Americans have paid into these, and they demand something for all that money. They want their Medicare and Social Security, and rightly so. They paid for them. However, had we never started these entitlements, working Americans would have never missed them. You could have taken that money that has come out of hundreds of your paychecks over the years and just put it into your savings account and lived in a country with lower taxes and a smaller government that wasn't broke, a country that had a rainy day fund to give $2,000 payments to its people during a pandemic without adding trillions to its already ridiculous debt.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.